Well, welcome. It's me again. It's been forever. Last change. Um, life's done its wonders, but kind of need something to outlet my creativity too. And there's certain somebody that I'm hoping will see this and will they know who they are and they can watch and that way they can still hear my voice and communicate with me. Uh, this is for me and for them and for everyone who wants to watch. If I'm looking this way, this is the actual computer. I have two monitors. Nothing much changed. New location. I've moved. Uh, kind of the school stress kind of crushing, but it's okay. We're having a fun time. I've been told this is a good game. I can move my little face here. You are playing the Stanley Peril Ultra Deluxe. Very fun. Oh my god, so smaller. There we go. I doubt anyone will see this, but if anyone wants to move stuff, let me know. But yeah, enough ranting and catching up. Small talk. Let's go. Never the end is never the end is never the end. Loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
I run the stream on my phone.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Just so I can
something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Never quite forget.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time.
I feel that.
But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
What if I don't want to step out of office? What? Alright guys, good stream. Well, see you. Well, bye. Nah. Can I type more? Nope. 427. Recommendations from Oversight Committee, January 18, 1991? So this is Matt explains the technology. I recognize half this stuff. That's a Macintosh right there. That's a phone, obviously, a keyboard. Back when computers looked like that. Oh, I miss those days. Where are they having a VHS door? Nope. Nope.
All of his co-workers... Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
How about 50,000?
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
Alright, well, this is the stream. Hope you're enjoying it. This is what we're doing.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
20 clicks into 417. 420.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437? So.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
15 was over here. If you hear my keyboard, it's just, my mic is, this is my mic. It's right next to my keyboard. You can't see it, but it's there. 15? This is still 15? Okay. So that. Huh. I hate Mondays. Mondays are great. They're my birthday.
Now, back to door number 437.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. 4, 3, 7.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
The copy machine? Where's the copy machine? I know what it is. I don't know where it is. That's not it. Oops. Copy machine. There you go. Copy machine. Oh yeah. No. That's a cool. That was one in there. Yeah. There's one right there. Okay. Yeah, I have to use. Let's go there. Alright, I have to use a copy machine for school, like to scan files and so. I just.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Okay. Me too, Stan. Wait, is he Stan or am I Stan? We stand.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's
I can
desk.
climb? Oh, I can.
Yes, this is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up.
Let's go.
Give me a few clicks on door 416.
416. 416.
We've almost got
Yes.
it. Now the copy machine, do that one again.
So you'll start. Where? Nope. I'm gonna look so dumb with this. Oh, there it is.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 clicks on door 430.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, we did it.
Let's go!
Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley.
Yes.
Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was
I
worth
didn't know
5
there
little
was in
clicks.
that.
Really
Like,
now?
I didn't realize that
What
she
were
was.
you thinking?
I was thinking that it'd be really funny to click on every door just to waste everyone's time, including mine. That's what I was thinking. But it's so much
When
fun.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
All right. Yeah. So this is what's gonna happen. We got 2 doors, right? 3 doors actually. Okay, so 2 doors. All right. If I go in there and the left door because you told me to, then I can't really be the whole like good boy like I like Asians. Oh, sorry, bro. But if I'm on the right, that's what they want you to do. That's what everyone does because no one likes to be told what to do. Unless you're into that, and that's weird. But sorry, thirsty. Yeah, judge me for drinking. I dare you. All right, I'm going left. I'm gonna be different. Nah, scary time.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve this to the coworker. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Let it all inside. Rude. Inside is true. Oh. You most of. Dang. We call it a special. Okay. Okay. We're gonna be here all day. This is it. Alright. This is it. Woo! Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're for. To do. Synergize, core values, shift global, market, monetize, free to play. Help, I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna be mad if that's defeats the point of free to play. If you monetize it, it's not free to play anymore. It's almost free to play. I really want to open this door.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
There's one other broom. Another broom.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Just kidding. Want the wrench.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Okay, that's actually pretty clean.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing?
I don't really need to fix the paint here.
Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Because you're telling me not to? You're telling me to not stay in this room? It's like the red button type scenario.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
No, it was just a label. The broom closet. I'll hammer you and then go backwards. Or not.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
That's not it. Okay. So this is where the money went. Oh. Because the boss knows what to get, the boss says goes. If the boss suffer losses, then what's the boss chose? Then that's what the boss chose. There's just a glass. Wash my hands. I gotta look tight. I don't have a reflection. Wait a minute. Okay. I'll just wait here, I guess. I mean, don't I need to... Oh. The beach pages are beige. That's right. Sorry. My accent kicked in. I see something. Hold on. Yo, it's the sun. Sorry, boss.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845.
I'm gonna get it wrong.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Two, a, 3, 6.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs.
Okay.
Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Okay, I'm installing. I'm done. I can't. You can't just. Why is the room so tall?
2845.
Okay. I don't want to put it in now. Not with that attitude. It's kind of weird. Certificate of prosperity?
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Wait. Okay, so on a keypad, it's 1, 2. What's up? 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does it close it? No. Yeah, oh, my phone. What are you doing? 4B7 C 50 degrees. Solve a triangle. Why do you? I mean, you already have the answer filled. Why are you asking me?
It's wrong.
Oh, you can't. Oh. I mean, it's late.
It's not late. 7 o'clock.
Okay. Man.
I only have 3 questions on this one, and then I'll be done. And I'll leave you alone.
That's
For
not.
now. For now.
Okay. C-A. Well, I mean, I can't really do this in my head.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll give you paper.
Where's the calculator? Always with the math homework. Anyways, watch. Oh, this is gonna take longer. Thanks. Alright. How? Okay, we're solving for B. I was there. I was gonna do some more stuff today, but I went to World War really a lot. So I'm just gonna stop.
Continue.
It's not condemned if I haven't started yet.
Huh? You did?
I'm trying. Dang. 4B A C. Okay. So. Alright. We need to solve for B. B is the third side of the triangle.
Don't worry about me.
I'm not worrying, I'm just distracted.
Don't be distracted.
Ah, yes. Just why? Why do you have an asthma? Just breathe more air.
Ethan.
Sometimes I say dumb things. I some big things sometimes, but Okay. This isn't too complicated. I just haven't done trading forever. Trig formula. That's so strange. Okay, can I scroll down, please? Okay. Okay.
Do you need the notebook of cosines?
You kind of asked a little too late, Amy. I'm gonna be entirely honest.
Huh?
You kind of asked a little too late.
No.
What do you know? It's not how that works. You just say no.
These are all cosines.
So you have the material. It's just a matter of like, you can't.
Okay.
Well, at least stay here with me instead of being on your phone. You can pull up chair. Okay. Solving for law of cosines. What is BC 3 10? Okay. A squared equals 10 squared plus 8 squared. Okay, Stanley, take over there. Okay. A squared equals 10 squared plus 8 minus.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
That's the thing, you've already done all the work. Like,
what's wrong?
No.
So I messed it up.
No. Well, you have everything. You literally have to just change numbers around. And, I mean...
Just do it, because I tried and I got wrong. And I can't afford to get wrong. It's just one question.
That's not what you said.
Just do the one question and then I'll leave you alone.
That's not the problem. The problem is you set yourself up for success.
Dude, this stuff I can't do. I can do the other stuff. I need you to do this one question so then I can do the other questions. I can't do this one.
This one?
Yes.
In particular?
Yes. And I don't need you to show me how to do it. I just need you to do it for me. Because Miss Isbell's gonna have to talk to us about it. I just need you to do it because I won't be able to do it. Can you just do it even and I'll leave you alone for the rest of the night? Because
it's not. Why do you think all I want? Okay.
I just need you to do it. I don't need you to sit here and walk me through every single step because then I won't get it.
You're not making sense at all.
Can you just do it?
You just want me to do it.
Yes.
You want me to solve the problem for you.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
That's all you want.
Because I tried and I got wrong. And I know if you try teaching me, I'm gonna mix it up with how Miss Isbell teaches us, and then I'm gonna get really twisted.
I don't have to teach you anything. You have everything
Well,
here.
I can't plug it in, okay?
You can't put it in?
I can't plug those numbers into the thing. I tried and I got an even number and it's not wrong.
I mean, I'm just as likely to miss it as you, and I haven't touched this since I was in grade.
Okay, it's fine.
So you're willing to bet it on me.
Yeah, but
So it's my mistake instead of yours.
okay, it's fine. Google ain't gonna help me anymore.
Have you tried Mathway? You know what Mathway is?
No, I have a math brother.
Okay, that's it. I'm just math brother. I see. Alright. Okay, I'm solving for B. B is one side of it. So it's 7 squared. I need pencil. I need paper.
Paper.
You got it?
Paper. Right there.
Okay. And pencil.
If you have been drawn up here, there's surely a pencil up here.
The pencil is older than me. Hello. back. Alright, Stanley. Alright, Stanley, let's go.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Alright. Sorry about that. Something came up. My keyboard died. That's okay.
You might have that. Guess who's going to be harassed? Not really. I'm kidding, but...
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, but of course, Stanley thought better of. Nope, still on board with death.
Yeah. Alright. We all choose to play the game. And it's a losing battle.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Like, in life.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
But, we all play a rigged game. But we decide how to roll the dice. That's just how life be sometimes. It's fought out against us from the start. Had a bad hand. And we choose to work with how to work with.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
427. Says right there. Yeah, this is really how the world works. We're all put in. This is gonna sound like a conspiracy, but just think about it. Like money, for example.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
You try to define like free will. But we're controlled by money.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Things that we feel like we want to keep us happy.
Here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
This quote where it's the American dream because you're too asleep. We're not awake. You have to be asleep to believe it, basically. And it's like, alright. I mean, there's. But, 5? Oh, wait, let me put.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Do I keep the system on? People will never know. I would be the only one to know. And whoever made the system is the only one to know. If I turn it on, everything goes back to how it was. It's like right blue people. It goes back to how it was. Oblivious to our, prison that we're living. We're all part of the system. Or just another number on a statistic. Or turn it off. Be free. But there's no turning back. Can't. There's no downsides. I mean, the downsides is you have to start over, right? But take off, because who wants to be free? We all strive for it. We look in the wrong place. The only way to be free
and a rising chill of uncertainty
from the system
was it
is
over?
to leave the system. And to leave the system,
yes,
that would be
he had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
It has its dangers.
Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
What can you enjoy?
And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
It's not quite open yet.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
But to be lose everything. It's just how it works. Beat the game. I don't know. Just something to think about.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. So no computers to look around. Was it? Oh, Siri, stop. Okay. Let me see. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Well, there's escape right there. All I have to do is break this window. And that box. Look at the receipt. That is what I make it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, I could. That's the thing about, like, choices. What's to say that both of these hallways don't lead to the same place? Right? Like, what's to say I can't just jump up here? Or sit down and wait. Go out the door, go out the window, go up here. Sometimes there's more than just two options. You just kind of have to take a step back to see them. I mean, think about it. What about just close the doors? Okay, can't close the doors. Let's say I go right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room,
Okay.
and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Just to admire it. That's crazy.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Ha ha ha, because it's a drink. That's funny. Room, Dad.
Yes, really worth it being here in the room.
Don't
A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Yeah.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
Okay.
It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Yeah, I'm just too cool for everybody. They won't understand.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue.
I did.
But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Mm-hmm. The game was trying to send him a message. I guess so.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Do not lie. If you're lying, stop right now. Or if you're lying right now, stop. Just like that. Yeah, it's pretty good drawings. I mean, okay, there's a square. It's not like I could use pen though. I mean, do what you want. I personally prefer pencil. Okay. Just weld it to the floor. I need a card. Penalty for misuse of cargo, 1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, 5,000. Do not jump from the lift while it is in motion. It will cause death. I mean, that's what I want. I'm joking.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
How does it matter?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself.
Okay.
To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
I've been waiting. I see. I mean, I'm waiting on her. It's okay though. Oh.
That's her, Stanley. You...
My eyes.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
Just like baking.
Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Mm-hmm. I'm good. I don't want to see.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Mm-hmm. I get it. Yeah.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures.
Mm-hmm.
From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
It's a lesson about sometimes.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job.
Step out.
First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Routine.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Mm-hmm. The illusion of choice.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Play games just to escape reality.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. I won't do it. What's to say that I'm pressing the other button? Right. Doesn't make a difference. Didn't press the button. Play games like this. We know it doesn't continue. Well, we don't know that. We assume it doesn't continue until we hit the button. Theoretically, there's a timer in the game that when it runs out, when you're not pressing the button, you win. But we don't know that. We're just here. We're playing the game. So, I'm going to press the button so we can move on. But no, I'd be willing to stand here, sit here for the next while and not press it. I could literally tab out. I could go play something else. Literally, I could do whatever. Don't press it.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
That was a Herman. It's a question with him.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
I'll press the button.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Just curious.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
That's not how doors work. Doors don't work both ways like that. That's just a video game thing. I don't think that's totally.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Jump waits? Leave?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
It's kind of
But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Oh, there's a dead guy.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
That's different. Where is the light switch? So, coworkers always be when the laptop's on. It's different.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
It's going
left.
away.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room,
I
and
know.
Stanley knew it perfectly
I
well.
did.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art.
cool.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No. Pass.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see, there's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
Skill trees.
Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Kind of just neutral.
Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful.
I don't want to think.
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version.
Really?
And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Okay. Only the worst 3% chose. I don't believe that. 4.7. Huh. There's more than that.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through
I'm not a
doors?
very competitive
Again,
person.
honest answers, please.
Not really.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours.
All right.
So why don't you
4
give
hours,
it 4
here we
hours
go.
of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Oh, almost there. Oh, how far? That's really far. Burn.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or
Yes.
purely to spite me?
Nah,
Because if
basically.
it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely
Not
out of ideas.
spite.
I can't think of a
More like
single thing
boredom.
that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Yo.
Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory?
This is
What is
Spiral
our
Launcher game.
motivation?
I haven't played
Well,
it.
it seems obvious
Like I
to
saw.
me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up
You
high
don't do
in your
that?
creep tower.
I mean, what?
Perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose.
No.
Yes, that must be it.
That-
What a fascinating
that's
venture into
not-
the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley.
not-
And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Alright. Wow. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm a fan.
Oh, no. No, it can't be.
No, it can't.
It is. It's an open world
Oh,
game.
yeah,
Good
yep.
God, quickly, block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing, that big, open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any... Ooh. Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Okay. Is this your rocket?
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design.
I mean,
Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yeah, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Watch me dribble. Yeah, uh-huh. I can't really do an aerial, but...
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
I'm scared.
Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
You sound like an idiot right now. Oh, snap. Well, I have some work to do. I mean, it's not wrong. It's a little bit enjoyable. It makes my little brain happy.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over.
What?
That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. Hold on. What are you doing? Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Write on a story. Yeah, you need to get that wall fixed. Huh. What's this? Okay.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice.
Yeah.
And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it,
No.
he'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world.
Chaos and if you're easily gained.
Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way.
To make sense of that.
Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Okay, something different.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Just to admire it.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Not how to make money on this. I don't want to make money off YouTube.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing in your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yes.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Okay.
Give me a chance.
Okay, I'm listening.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me.
I'm willing.
You see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time. The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
goodness.
If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
I'm happy for you. Narrator. The one in this game, not a narrator YouTuber, even though he's cool. It is nice. Sometimes it's nice to just stop, look up, observe. And that's okay. Maybe it would be, as much as I enjoy this, it wouldn't be a good video if I just sat here. Hours.
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing. No!
Ow.
Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room? There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
But what's the point of happy moments like this if you don't have bad ones to compare them to? Life isn't about being happy. Life's about living, not surviving.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
I must break my ankles.
No. No, no, what are you doing? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
I believe you. Yes, interesting. Ankles.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
I'm sorry.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation? Yes.
No.
Perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about.
It's not.
I know you'll see. You'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
No matter how amazing you make a place, it doesn't matter how. It's gonna feel like a jail cell. Okay? Even if outside's so bad, people have the yearn to explore, to be not cooped up anymore. What if I just fall off? You gotta understand that. Joy.
No, perhaps not.
I'm sorry. But the show must go on. Shall it be? If you achieve happiness. Okay, so happiness is the goal. But once you achieve it, then you don't have a goal anymore.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
I mean, I've experienced happiness. That's it. What else is there? Maybe others happy. I don't want to do this, but I don't have any choice. I mean, yeah, I could begin the game again. I could do all this stuff, but I'll still end up here again. This hurts my heart to do this to him. He doesn't deserve this. Bye-bye.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Is he still gonna be sad?
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Okay. I feel great about that. No regrets.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright, I'll listen, just for now.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
It was like
What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody.
8,
He began
5,
wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking
4,
behind
2,
paintings,
5,
desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's
4,
desk.
2,
What could its purpose
8,
be?
5.
In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
What was it?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Oh, 2, 4, 8.
2845.
Doing it, alright. What? Just open the door.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
That night the music seems so loud. We lose this crowd. Maybe it's better this way. Not the same. Could've been so good together. Could make it last forever. And now who's gone dance with me?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut, Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Oh, here we go. Yippee! I'm just curious. Okay.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell. Okay.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Mm-hmm. Corridor. So, yeah, spawn there, go out, see nothing, take a right, see nothing, go through the doors, go, that's the two doors. Jesus? Dang. This is an older game, so 2013. It's easy to pretend. The fighting aliens actually become sentient and shows after starting to build that it was too jokey and on the nose for done the game. Plus, some people interpret it as making fun of people who like shooters but just not attention. Hello. Hi. Yes, sir. No, sir. There's nothing else to do. Well, she's got to in about 40 or 34 minutes. I was having a hard time, and Mom randomly called me, and I was like, have you seen your grades on coding?" And I didn't respond too well because I was kind of playing with Amy at the time, so I wasn't ready for the annoying question, and didn't mean to, but because it bothers me a lot. She wanted me to explain my grades.
I'm just going to make this easy on you.
I couldn't without explaining my class.
Stanley pushed the big red button.
What do you mean by humble?
Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you pick up on intuitively if you have even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you.
I understand. Love you too. Bye.
What do we do now? I don't... Stanley, where are you right now? Where am I? I'm...
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Time choose for me.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Hello. Who's his name? New content. Let's
Oh,
go.
new content? What does that mean, new content?
Okay. Wow. I like the aesthetics.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Yay!
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Wow.
Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Good. Down or up? Where are we going?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Let's go. I'm looking down and checking.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if the... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh, this is my luck now. Jump is the new thing. Okay.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
We disable that. Well, still looks.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else.
Ooh.
Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley?
Really?
This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Do 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 do. Okay.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Okay. Then I will go on to that. Okay. Synchrony, right?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? But it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. Wow. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Oh, that's cool. Well, in National Geographic stuff, really nice of it. Wow. That's cool. That's really the first $1. Wow. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. It is impossible to get this cheap. Alright. How many? The top choices.
Je suis dans la memory zone, seul sur l'abri des loups, et je n'attends plus que toi, mon amour. C'est là, dans la memory zone, où je me remémore les jours où je t'ai.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable.
Oh,
like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Something like that. That's it. Thanks.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall
that's
of
fair.
beloved video game
Sequels
memories.
in general, if not done correctly, are just in general cash grabs. Like when it comes to movies, and sometimes that's wrong. There's times where the sequel is better than the first movie, but like it just depends. If they do a sequel, it needs to be everything like the previous one and more. If that makes any sense. But that's not always what happens.
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at these in years.
These are bad.
I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
The good ones. You only see the bad ones because the bad ones actually bother you. It's the only thing with the bad ones. When you need to see what people are saying that's good, that's better overall. That's the sad thing about making games, but it's okay. Oh. It's a good one.
Okay, let's see what this one says.
Based off hours.
While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with.
Terse?
You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't.
This is an understandable one.
What an awful memory to have to hold on to.
This is an understandable
These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
You kind of get hit
I feel like a failure.
No,
like I let these people down.
Narrator,
Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
You're letting the bad ones get to you, man. You're good. Ooh.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Oh, snap.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that.
We
if I'm truly too preachy, then
that.
maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
That's not good.
And here it is. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations.
I like listening to talk.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45... Stanley, please
There's a
don't push
girl.
the button again. It's been 12
12
hours.
Oh, yeah, no.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're... Oh, Stanley.
The tree.
You're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness.
Hello, Mary.
I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I
love his
think
voice.
it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting...
The tree? It's dark.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track.
I would honestly
after a
listen
year.
to him.
Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year?
Yes. It's called being an introvert. Hello? That's not good. Somebody needs to change the battery in that. Open.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their...
Okay.
The end is never the end, 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 is...
Debbie. Can I just skip the skip button? That'd be crazy. I'm sure it's normal. You know, wait, that's not how erosion works. Well, I mean, the roof is fine. But the wall, that. Oh, wow. Mold. It's going back to the earth. Reminds me of like dimensional objects. Like you got, you know, x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, you know, length, width, depth. And you got the fourth one, which I believe is time, which is why we don't have many four-dimensional objects, because it'd have to survive time itself. Oh right, we're on pillars. Let me skip. Please. Oh, it's broken. Okay. Out in the wild, wild west, Stewie Desert, where cowboys come cow me. Yeah, I'm sure that's how it is. That's really cool. I like the sun. I love staring into the sun. Really, really makes your eyeballs go, ah! Okay, I actually can't skip. Okay, skip the sun. It's too bright. Down with the sun, guys. L sun. L sun. The sun that took our seriously. See, guys, you're taking it too seriously. Don't downvoted the... or was watching, I guess. I think I know.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
New content.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay. I trust you. You haven't lied to me yet. Well, yeah.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable
Okay.
and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be.
Okay.
The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy.
That's
So
exactly
forget
right.
this ultra deluxe nonsense. I
Okay.
say we take it one step even further.
Ultra Beyond.
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
That's so cool. So,
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a
This is
fully
just-
fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking
this
for.
is
Now, to be
literally
clear,
every game.
I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable
They
2
just
is
stuck
going
a
to be,
number
but
on
let's take a look at
and
some of the
plus one.
features I've been developing for it.
Spend a lot more
I
money on
figure
this.
that
than
if I
the
can
game.
loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Okay. The button that says
For the
name
Stanley
of the player
Parable
that is
2,
playing the
I
game.
asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in
Okay.
mind, my first addition to the game is this. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
Nah, I get it.
Here, let's have you role play as
Role
Jim
play
to
as
really
Jim.
simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll
It
love it.
doesn't. It just says
Okay,
the
here we
name.
go.
you
Let's
become
take a
the
deep
person.
breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you... Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll
done.
never understand
lost
the
me.
impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
Only Jim.
Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim, playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim, staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim, developing a crippling substance addiction as Jim, rediscovering yourself through fringe religious groups as Jim, and finally dying a slow death at an old age, surrounded by members of your cult as Jim. Do you feel it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Oh, press the button now.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again. Jim. Oh! It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
It's not personal if it's someone else. It's not you.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Infinite. Oh.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't
sick.
you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's
I'm not sure. What's the
future-oriented.
Infinity
It
Hall?
screams progress and
cares?
innovation and long-term franchising potential. Stanley, here's an idea that I'm
Oh, yeah.
truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game.
Okay, I'm listening.
This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of
It's
things.
infinite. Shouldn't matter.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated
I
the
thought so.
infinite nature of the hole.
Infinite.
Is it a very, very deep hole?
Would it
To be certain it is.
really be possible?
It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite?
No.
Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
I hit the bottom.
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You
No.
found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar
Yeah.
and a cheat, and you're so clever.
I mean, if you
Look,
really
I
want
think the
to
issue here
infinite,
is just that you're
you just
unusually
teleport.
fascinated by falling.
Let me click a
What
portal,
normal
basically,
person
like Doctor
actually
Strange,
wants to
and
fall
have them
infinitely?
teleport
I
back
figured
up,
the hole was as deep
but
as
not
anyone
out
would
of the hole,
actually
just
need.
in the
Don't you
hole
put this
higher,
on me.
and
Maybe
have it
you're
do
the
that
problem.
infinitely.
Look,
But-
things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the whole mostly infinite?
Most.
If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm
Hold on,
very...
yeah.
Oh, for heaven... You see,
Yes.
I was right. The problem is
Oh
you.
no, definitely. The problem,
is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of...
Okay, that's different.
Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I
Yeah.
couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did
Kind
before.
of.
I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm
Back
positively
down.
thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole.
I'm back
If
in the
this
hole.
starts to become a thing where... Wow.
Hey.
Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the
It's just a
hole
hole.
infinitely
No,
deep,
yeah,
even by
you're
the
right.
lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no
Well, it could
explanation
be
for
the
the
name of the
uncertain
hole,
nature
but
of
it
the
doesn't mean the
hole's
hole
length.
is infinite.
Here, let's try something.
Like the happy
Let's
hole. The
pop
hole
back up to
doesn't
the
have
top,
feelings.
and we'll see if
so-
it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt. How is this still appealing to you?
I'm in the
I know
hole.
you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch.
You know it.
Oh, who am I to judge? You just
Yeah.
do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. Still
Oh,
nothing.
sorry.
Well,
My
I
G
suppose...
key. I just use
I
it
suppose
so
there is
much.
one thing I can do to
like,
fix this. I'm out.
dang, I just-
Goodbye, Stanley.
Wait, what?
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and
Yeah,
now
this
you'll
is
get more
great.
time with it than you could
Okay, you
ever have
wanted me
asked
to have
for.
the fun
It's a win for
experience,
everyone.
and I have the
You
fun
get to be
experience
with the
with someone
hole.
else.
I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity.
Oh dang, we're actually walking out. Okay. What? Oh. Okay. The ceiling's rising. The floor is sinking. Dang it. Okay, that's not brick. That's not how you do brick. This way. I mean, it's technically brick, but it's not brick. Not that it matters. It's weird that I can texture. Change your perspective. Oh my. I need this point of view. Oh. That's the best game ever, honestly. Oh. Change yourself? Oh. What is the definition of insanity? Oh. I actually don't mind that. Dang, what do they do to that? This is like
Stanley?
tripping balls.
Stanley! Stanley! Oh good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole?
All right.
From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
And just like how he said, I'm gonna go ahead of school. So it's been a fun stream. I enjoyed it. I'll continue playing it later. So yeah, y'all have a good night.